Good morning. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Real quick. We are on number 37 of our affirmations, confirmations, declarations. Number 38 of our affirmations, confirmations, declarations. We are on number 38 of our 40 affirmations, confirmations, declarations. Number 38 of our 40 affirmations, confirmations, declarations. And today's affirmation, confirmation, declaration is rooted in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. And it simply says this: be imitators of God. As followers of Christ, be an imitator of God. And our affirmation, confirmation, declaration today is very simple. It's just this: I am a follower or an imitator of God. I'm an imitator of God. My role is to imitate the love of Christ and God, to be imitation of God. I am an imitator of God. The text says, be an imitator or follower. So that word follower means to imitate. It means to replicate. It means to follow. But don't just follow in the sense of follow behind, but follow and in the sense of do as, right? Be an imitator of God. Be an imitator as one who follows Christ. Be an imitator of God. And so that our affirmation, confirmation, declaration for today is, I'm an imitator of God. My role, did I lose y'all? Is to follow after God. And I do what God does. I do what God says do. I am an imitator of God. I'm an imitator of Christ. I'll do what God and Christ would have done. And so when we ask the question, what would Jesus do? What would the Lord do? What would the Lord have me to do? Right? That is a way in which we pattern our lives. Now, does that mean we are the God? No. No. I follow. I do as. I'm a follower, yes, or an imitator of God, right? And so look at that pattern. Look at that model. Look at that way of being and doing, and do that. And what does that look like? It looks like love. It looks like caring for humanity. And so we're in this world right now where things are crazy, and this is not about politics, but we're seeing how people are being mistreated. And when I look at how the instructions of God, how to treat a stranger, how to care for our neighbor, how to love another as you love yourself, we have to ask the question, is that the imitation of God? When God literally says, invite the stranger in, reach out to the foreigner, is what we're seeing an imitation of God? No, it's not. It's not. And this is not about politics. This is simply about text. The text says, be an imitator of God as one who follows Christ. That means what you see, what you saw, what was said, do that. Be that. Live in that way. Pattern yourself in that way. And so when we think about all the injustice happening in the world and the maltreatment, is that really of God? It's not an imitation of God. It's not an imitation of God. It might be an imitation of people in the Bible. There's a difference. Because yes, the Bible addresses atrocities. But God is very clear on his instructions about how we treat people. We see atrocities in the Bible, but just because we see atrocities in the Bible, that doesn't mean that's what God wanted. God gives very clear instructions about how we treat people, how we treat ourselves. And the atrocities that are in the text are to give us our examples and signs and things to pay attention to, how humanity treats humanity. But God was very clear on God's instructions of how we treat each other, how we treat people. And so our affirmation, confirmation, declaration is, I'm an imitator of God. I'm an imitator of Christ. I follow after Christ, not after people, not after man. And God gives very clear instructions on how we treat each other and how we treat ourselves, and even how we treat the world around us, how we treat the kingdom. Clear instructions. The instructions are clear. And so to be a follower of God, to be an imitator of God, is to do those things. Not the way of the world. The Bible actually says in Romans, don't be conformed to this world, be ye transformed. And so I'm an imitator of God. I'm an imitator of God, and God stood for justice. God stood for righteousness. God stood for mercy, love, forgiveness, embracing, caring for each other, community. These are all things of God. So if we're going to be an imitator of God, these are the things that we have to also think about in our daily lives. And when we look at what's happening in the world, we have to ask ourselves the question, is this really of God? And if it's not, don't follow it. Be a follower, an imitator of God. Amen. Y'all have an amazing Friday. Got to get out of here. This had to be real quick today. But y'all have an amazing Friday. And we're going to wrap up these last couple of affirmation, confirmation, declarations over the next couple of days. And then we have a couple of pickups we have to do. So we should be wrapped up by the middle of next week, or this coming week. All right? Y'all have an amazing Friday, and be an imitator of God today. Be an imitator of God today. Wherever you go, whoever you interact with, be an imitator of God. All right? I love y'all. We out. Peace.